Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for July 2014, and there's two significant moves of the planets this month, Jupiter and Mars, both of which have been in long transits. So with them shifting from one position in the circle to other positions in the circle, the balance of things, the dynamics of things will start to feel different. But here's the overview. Getting organized with the practical details, getting your act together, but having a few laughs along the way, I think. So whether that's in your spare time, your leisure time, you're finding interesting things to do, or whether that is actually during the day job, you know, but it tends to put you in a good mood. And the new transit of Mars will put the focus on your public persona. That'll be for 7 weeks from the 26th, where bosses and bureaucracy and red tape and authority figures, that kind of thing, will be more emphasized. And Jupiter also moves to your opposite sign, which is a really significant move for you. In fact, both of them are. And your life, therefore, is due to expand into exciting, probably new areas through new friends, new partners, new encounters. So my advice to you would be to get in shape. Now, here's the longer version. So from the 23rd, yes, it is about getting organized, looking, you know, at where you can make yourself useful, the mechanical details of daily life, the job, the technology that goes along with the job or daily life, the equipment, chores, everyday chores, tasks, the to-do lists. Just getting things organized on these quite basic levels, you know, having a bit of a spring clean maybe for some of you. And you could also be putting more effort into learning new practical skills, or maybe blowing the dust off some old ones. And the other thing about this area here is that some of you may be keeping a weather eye on health, whether that's yours or somebody else's, and doing things related to that, like having a more sensible diet or exercise regime, that kind of thing. Mercury and Venus, until around about mid-month, are in a very fun-orientated sector of your chart, very sociable, very chatty, a bit gossipy. There's likely to be distractions along the way, things that will be, you know, delight you, and making friends, maybe just in entertainments, leisure pursuits, that kind of thing could be part of this. Or for others of you, it could be this kind of competitive energy which comes out of this area. It's entrepreneurial energy, it's enterprising energy. And you may very much find yourself doing something that you feel really proud about, you get a lot out of, whether that's, you know, in the sight of others or not. You just personally feel like, yes, you know, I've cracked it, sort of thing. A bit like that. It could be like that. It could also work in another way, which is about connecting more with children, young people, people out to have a good time. You see, with Venus in there as well, it means that you can feel spontaneous, and in fact, not only is it a creative area, it's a romantic area. So you could find admiring glances coming your way. It has been known. And you feel you're sort of basking in that light anyway of approval, recognition, acceptance, admiration, whatever it is. And you can handle it. And in general, this energy will link you to things which are personally empowering, just that sort of glow, you know, because this is the house of the sun. So because it's the house of the sun, when we get planets like Venus and Mercury in there together, we tend to, you know, it's a more relaxed vibe, and we tend to sort of glow and radiate, you know, because it's the house of the sun. And social get-togethers are, you know, well starred here, and could revolve around other things like, you know, leisure pursuits or performance. It could be entertainments, you know, that kind of thing as well. This is very much related to entertainments, this area here, of all kinds. And then from well, actually it's the 13th, Mercury moves into a more grown-up, serious area where it's talking, you know, it's thinking about tidying up now, getting serious about work, the chores. Yes, well, this needs to be done and that needs to be done. So it's the to-do list. And in fact, it joins the area the Sun has been in since the beginning of the month. So then we've got Mercury and the Sun in there together. And for about a week, they're being very, very busy in there together. Your mind is maybe, you know, ticking off, okay, that's done, that's yet to be done. I've got to sort this out. I've got to learn how to work that. I've got to take this in for repair. Thinking about how to be of service, how to be useful, but also connecting with others, like co-workers, colleagues, but also others who are providing you with a service, others who are being useful to you, maybe health providers as well. And then Venus comes in there from the 19th until the end of the month. And that sort of oils the wheels, that sort of takes the sharp edges off. It's great for teamwork, teaming up with somebody, working one-to-one with someone, working alongside someone, and you generally feel, you know, if things have been bad in that area, they're not likely to get any worse, at least. In fact, you know, at most, they could get a lot better. So others will probably be happy, you know, to assist with you in whatever way. And Venus tends to balance things, so you can have a reasonable interaction with others, a harmonious interaction. But also Venus is about money, so maybe through work, money, or other resources, you know, like you needed a new chest of drawers, or you wanted a pretty sort of old-fashioned cupboard. I mean, those kinds of things which are useful, serviceable objects, but which could maybe come your way without too much trouble or costing you too much. It could be like that as well, but I'm speculating. So anyway, you get the idea, hopefully, from my speculating. And now, from the 23rd, you're going to benefit more from the support or contribution of somebody else in close relationship. It still is got quite a really, really practical vibe, but again, a relationship, you could really get a rapport with somebody. Somebody is being sort of like your right-hand person, or you're their right-hand person, or whatever it is. A real bonding feeling here, teaming up. You could meet somebody new who, you know, you both feel a mutual attraction. That's altogether a possibility, even stronger possibility in the first part of the month. Also in the first part of the month, I should have mentioned, indeed, that the Sun and Mars will be running across the degrees of Uranus and Pluto. So there could be some ups and downs going on there, not in any major, huge way, but it could be for you a sudden chance, which is surprising, which you feel like grabbing. It can be a little bit like that, or it can be like, that wasn't quite what I was expecting, but hey, it's okay, you know, I'm relaxed and I'm open and I'm cool with that. So it's staying relaxed and open, really, to handle that energy, because it's more challenging for the cardinal signs, and you're not a cardinal sign. What is challenging for you, and has been since October 2012, is the transit of Saturn, which I'll mention in a minute, because I just want to finish with where the Sun's going. So where the Sun will be next from the 23rd is in this, you know, connecting really, really closely with somebody else, and you doing better, being more productive, taking advantage of that relationship, not in any mercenary way, or them, you know, taking advantage of you, not in any mercenary way, but just, you know, mutual interaction is what I'm trying to say in my clumsy way. Mars is also you know, the big news is about the move of Mars. So Mars is in an outgoing, expansive area of your chart to do with travel. You know, the distant horizon beckoning. You know, the grass on the other side is greener. You on a huge learning curve since last November, December time. Mars has been there, and broadening your horizons in all kinds of ways. You know, really new territories carved into your mental landscape, and you're very stretched mentally and physically over this time. And formal education or informal education, probably more informally, you've learnt, you become wiser about whatever the subject, the world, the place, whatever it is. And then Mars is going to move on the 26th to the top of your chart for 7 weeks. And this is you, this is quite a career-orientated area, but also it's an area to do with general life direction, and also, you know, what goal or target you have to achieve in order to be able to move on to the next level or the next sort of base, really, to get round, you know, to get round all the bases sort of things. So this transit of Mars could inspire you to take more responsibility during daily interactions with bosses, authority figures, parents, but also you being more authoritarian, maybe you being more parental, you being more decisive and energetic and spearheading, because actually I have to say Mars, which rules the head, rules Aries and rules the head, loves to spearhead. It likes to have its head. It likes to be first. It likes to pioneer off on its own. And you're a bit like that anyway, Aquarius. So, you know, you will rationalize about it a lot more than an Arian. But basically, you're quite like that, breaking new ground. So Mars up in that area there is going to, as far as you can, you know, have you breaking new ground, making up your mind about something and going for it, either with the job or with the career trajectory, or the, you know, the general direction that you're taking. And if you manage to keep your cool, because every now and again Mars, which has got a very short fuse, will have you crossing swords with somebody, or feeling irritated by them. But if you manage to, you know, keep your head, keep your cool, you will make really good progress with the master plan, and you will be successful, and you'll be able to be proud of yourself. Now, Saturn, as I mentioned before, is also in this area, and Mars coming in to join it is really going to stir things up. It's going to accelerate things, I think. But also, because it accelerates things, it can bring in that frustration and that feeling of exasperation more quickly, but then it'll be gone more quickly. Because the thing about Saturn is that it does that. And you will, every now and again, have to sort of keep your counsel, maybe, or be very patient, you know, whilst you're waiting for something to sort of come together. So it's okay, it's fine. And if you look back about 14 years, you might get the gist of something that went on then, or maybe 14, 15 years, maybe 29 years, something like that, 29, 30 years, because you would have had a similar influence coming through your life, but then you were not as experienced as you are now. So you Aquarians born near the beginning, you are Aquarians born in the middle 10 days with 15 to 17 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And then in conclusion, Jupiter has been in your area of work and health for a very, very long time. And that means that there will have been opportunities for you to learn and grow through work and health issues. And because Jupiter likes people to, or rather it doesn't have an opinion about what people do, but because the energy encourages casting your nets wide and thinking bigger, and not getting all snarled up, you know, with things, the small stuff around your feet, then you might have found yourself reaching into a new area to do with work or health, or use new methodologies, new techniques, new equipment, just have a new mindset about matters to do with work or health, or both. And finding that if you were able to use the Mars energy to your advantage, very glad that you did, because you did cast your nets that little bit wider. Now Jupiter is leaving there on the 16th, and for 12 months Jupiter will be opening the way to growth through close personal relationships, like I said at the beginning, and alliances, working ones as well as in your private life, and business ones as well. Because of a key close association, your horizons will broaden. You'll meet somebody that is maybe very interesting or intriguing, and indeed they will find you interesting and intriguing too, because it isn't a one-way street with Jupiter. Jupiter is a big, generous planet, and it has a very philosophical nature. It has a sort of a nature of potential abundance through its accepting nature, its forgiving nature, but also the Jupiter energy has you enjoying so much what you're finding out and learning through what this other person does or has done, or their background or their culture, or this series of other people, because it doesn't have to just be one. Jupiter is about abundance, and often we get more than we bargained for with Jupiter, but it is a long transit, you know, so it might be one person, one key person, but it might be maybe more than one. It depends on lots of things, where you're at really, and what you are subconsciously asking for. So partners, colleagues, clients, friends could get you thinking more expansively, any of those, and probably you will learn a lot through them, and they are going to learn a lot through you. And let me just say that in the last 10 days of July, the Sun is going across Jupiter, and there's a huge lot of potential there. So it's a very uplifting energy, it's adventurous, and it is opportunistic. So, you know, don't tuck yourself away during those 10 days, because it looks like the air is promise crammed there. And that's it for July. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also, if you want to check anything, all this is written up on my website. And I will see you the next time.